just been sitting here talking about everything from acoustics at this beautiful physical analog space that you created here at the WorkClub. We're talking about Scandinavian design, the future of work, the on-demand economy over a coffee. And we kind of want to just reflect some of those things back to you guys. It gives me great pleasure today to introduce Soren Trampedach. Even the sound and the acoustics in the WorkClub, which is a collaborative workspace in Sydney and Melbourne, that even the white noise here is designed, which I think tells me a lot about the Danish sort of focus on aesthetics and that everything should be designed.
Yeah, it needs to be functional as well, that's the key. So the design is important, but for me the functionality is everything. If it's not functional, whether you're introvert or extrovert, whatever your job is, whatever you need to do during a day, if you cannot do what you need to do in a functional space, design doesn't matter. So design is functionality to me, and it's all about, I think for WorkClub, catering for all those different kind of styles of people, because we're all around, we're all about diversity. It's diversity in disciplines and industries, and it's coming from a theory that I've had for a long time. It's a fluffy theory, if you like, but the short version is around Leonardo da Vinci. And he lived in Florence in the early Renaissance period, where that was the center of the world in terms of lots of cultures coming together, new inventions, new ideas. And he at the time was very calculative around who he surrounded himself with in his local network, because he felt diversity in that network elevated the quality of his works. That's the really short version. I think the relevance is, if you fast forward it forward to today, is that all the disruption that's happening to all of us, industries of all industries, companies of all sizes, whether you're a one-man band or you're a big international firm, are experiencing this disruption, or will experience this disruption. Where do you find answers? Well, if you work in your own tribe, industry, network, call it whatever you like, you're just less likely to find answers. If you move yourself outside of that, you increase the probability of at least getting different perspectives and maybe reflect on ideas that you otherwise wouldn't have had. So for us, we always had an application process here to ensure that we have that diversity. So we have more than 55 industries, disciplines represented, and that's without that, we would not be what we are. And the space is almost like a supporting act. It's designed, yes, to encourage encounters and conversations between members, but that's it's not the foundation. The magic and what we spend and what I spend most of my time on is figure out, well, how do we then create encounters and conversations between these diverse people in a subtle way and in a way that doesn't interrupt them, but just is facilitating them meeting each other and making meaningful connections. We're very specific. We work on several levels. We have a Florence Guild event series where it's a bigger stage, if you like. It's up to 60 people, and we bring all this diverse group of people together, and a little bit of friction, hopefully. And you don't get to know all of the people in the room, but you get to know a few, and perhaps in your own time you'll go and say hello to some of the other members.
So the Florence Guild, inspired by this Renaissance or this Florentine era that you alluded to before with Da Vinci, and I guess in a very modern era, in a world of largely digital work, people still coming together and having an analog meeting and a meeting of minds, or even some divergence of thought as well.
And it's all about the analog. It's all about, there's no slides, there's no tech. We put somebody on a stool like this and start a conversation. That's what it's about, having real conversations. And we bring that down to intimacy levels between members, where it's one-on-one, or the round tables that we do, which is 8 people that we invite from the membership. And we facilitate conversations. That could be around business, philosophy, mind, wellness, whatever it is that the topic is at that round table. But the objective is to have real conversations that will connect people, whether they are introverts or extroverts or whatever they do. It's so that we connect them in a way, in a subtle way, that in their own time they can go and talk or reflect on conversations that I've had. It's not about the space, you know, the space, anyone can do the space. It's really about how well or how good a job we do on introducing all these diverse people. And this is the same for corporates, you know, that come in with 50 people or 100 people into our space, or whether it's a one-man band. How do we introduce these connections, or whatever may happen?